Hello, my friends. This is Kate. Welcome back to my studio. I have another video for you, but I'm having some technical issues with it. So I'm going to give up for the moment on it and just make you a new video. So I have some news for you. I'm very excited about it, and I thought I will share with you. But before I get into that, how are you? I hope that you are getting some of your stitching. Maybe you have a cup of coffee with you or some seltzer water. That's what I'm drinking right now. I love seltzer water. I don't know why. Most people really don't like it, but I'm not most. I mean, I don't know. I guess there's a bunch of people who do like it, but I'm one of them. Anyway, definitely don't need caffeine right now as it is getting later in the day. And yeah, I'm getting to that age where it actually matters if I drink caffeine later in the day. So I've been working on this little fabric journal. Isn't she so cute? I really love her. And I am thread painting the little flowers on the front. Then I added a pocket. I've decided that with my journals, I just want excessive numbers of pockets. So that's what I'm doing on a lot of the pages. I love doing little pockets from embroideries. I like doing pockets from contrasting fabric with embroidery. I just finished this. I thread painted this tiny little flower and it was like gray and I wasn't loving it. So that's the great thing about thread. You can change it to whatever color you want. So I made a little blue flower that went with the rest of it. And I put a tiny little tag that says live joyfully. I printed up a bunch of fabric tags for another project that I will show you in a moment. Anyway, I just finished that page. And so now I thought, oh, isn't that cute? I did a contrasting like this way fabric. And then we've got the this way fabric and then this fun thing. I don't know. I may just leave that because I love it. Or maybe I'll put something sheer over here. Or like, I don't know, maybe a ribbon, like a belly band ribbon, where you could tuck something in from both sides. I thought with this, I would just attach it with a decorative stitch. And these pages are so thick because I've got a sheet of, I've got a piece of fabric. Then I've got this fabulously thick fleece that I decided to put, because I just wanted it to be hefty. That's exactly the word for this piece. So I've got this fabric, fleece, and then the back, and then, oh, look at that pocket. So this I like because it's a lighter weight, like in terms of visually. But I thought, so this pocket I made by folding over this piece of fabric. So it's already a pocket. And so I thought I would do a little decorative chain stitch up on this side here. So it doesn't have to go through all the layers. I brought my needle through in between the layers so that the knot is inside. And then what I'm going to do is just do a little chain stitch. I just was feeling like a chain stitch. And I'm only running it through a couple layers, I think. That's my goal. Obviously, I need to get it at least through that layer and really into the fleece is going to secure the pocket because I don't want my pockets to rip off. So, I want it to be fun. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I thought, you know what? I have some stuff to tell you guys. So I'm just going to pop on here and I'm going to tell you about it. So I have been going through my inventory of the stuff I've made lately. And I have approximately 15 handbags and pouches. I have about 5 or 6 pillows. I have a couple of fabric journals and some little framed pieces. In other words, I've got a lot of stuff around here. And as you know, I've been mulling over the idea of opening a little a little booth. And so I have finally taken the plunge and I'm going to open my booth. And I'm going to do it on Thursday. Thursday is move-in day, and today it is Tuesday. So in a couple of days, I'm going to go down to the Antiques Marketplace and I am going to set up my shelves. And I cannot wait to show you because I think that's going to be so fun. And I also have a whole little box of just little extra things that I have procured at various places, hither and yon, that I've decided I mostly just wanted to let them, I don't know, come and be part of the collection, but I don't really need to be part of my collection. I just want them to be not in somebody's garage. So they are going to make their way onto the shelves. And so I am working away on many little parts to that project. And you know, I do love a new project, I will tell you. Oh my goodness. So that is very exciting. It's partly exciting, I decided, because I mean, it's the same reason I have this YouTube channel. There is something about finding something you love to do and then sharing it with other people, period. It just makes it more fun. You know, when you love, you know, when you first like meet your person and you just, you talk about them probably a lot. Hopefully you still talk about them. I've been married almost 22 years and I still talk about my husband. He's hilarious. He's a very interesting person and I appreciate him. So, you know, if you talk about, like, I love my church. I'm a pastor's wife. You might think, oh, well, then she has to love her church. But actually, you wouldn't have to. But I just really do because my people are amazing. And my husband is a really good preacher. It's like relevant and, you know, makes you think, and it's good. It's good. It changes you. So that's great. So I talk about that, and I talk about, goodness, you know, random things like, slow stitching. I cannot tell you how many people I run into in the grocery store and they're like, oh, I love your bag. And then I'm serious, people. You have unleashed the slow stitching, you know, the girl who loves it so much. And I will start talking about vintage linens and about thrift stores and estate sales. And you're going to get the whole thing. Are you like that? I don't know. Maybe you are like that. And that's why you're watching this. So anyway, if I love something, you're probably going to hear about it. And, you know, it's just life because I love it. So, you know, I'm going to tell you. So anyhow, that's really why I'm doing this booth, because if I didn't love this, then I wouldn't feel compelled to share it with everybody, but I do. So, you know, and also, let's be honest, I don't need this, like nobody needs this many pouches, except maybe some of y'all. Like Kate, I know you and your nest, you have a bunch of pouches and you're amazing. I would never want you to not have your pouches. It's just part of what we love about you. So, you know, but the rest of us, or not, or at least me, I've got a lot of these and I think they need to go and live with someone else and be enjoyed by somebody else. And I know you, girl, you share. So you are a lovely person. Anyway, all that to say that I do need to share my passion by, you know, doing this. And then I thought, if this hobby, if I could sell some of them so that I could, you know, honestly, I don't really need it or want it to be a business as much as I want it to be paying for this hobby. If I could sell some of my things and therefore buy more vintage linens, I'm a happy girl. So wish me luck. All of you out there, hobbyists who are like, oh, that would be fun. Now, some of y'all are running phenomenal businesses, and I do love me a good business, but I think for right now, we're going to go with a hobby that perhaps generates something that I can put back into the hobby. That would be awesome. All right, so it's not going through the other side. See, so I've just made this little cute chain stitch. I like chain stitches. This one, as you can tell, it's kind of, it's very line-like. I don't mind that though. I kind of like the long lines that you can get with a chain stitch. It actually reminds me of some of my favorite jewelry pieces that they have out right now that have those paperclip chains. You know, they've been in for a couple of years, and I mean, well, they're probably vintage, and then also everything cycles back, what, every 40 years? So anyway, I like that look of the long, thin chain like that. That's kind of cool. You could definitely make your chains shorter and then have them be rounder, and that's cute too. But I'm just going with this, and then I'll show you at the end what we're going to end up with here. So again, not a tutorial on stitching, but you know, if you don't know how to make this stitch, you just kind of come up. You're gonna pop it through the fabric a little, you know, and you try and make them somewhat even. And then you just are gonna loop around that. That's it. You don't want to pull it too tight because we don't want it to pucker, okay? All right, and then I'm gonna make another loop. I'm gonna catch the top of the loop before. Come on, baby. There we go. And then go up. Make sure you see, for me, I got to catch that fabric underneath since I'm using this as a decorative stitch, but also to stitch it onto the next thing. You know, because you can do that. You know, we often use in embroidery, we use these decorative stitches, just decoratively, of course, and that's lovely, but you can use them to attach things too. And I'm sure there are some that are better than others for those, but you know, I think fly stitch works great. Obviously running stitch, chain stitches. You can use a lot of things to pin a couple of pieces of fabric together. All right. Came out, but that's okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you know what else I did today that was news alert? Okay. I used the self-threading feature on my sewing machine. I know. Like, a lot of you probably don't use a sewing machine. So, you know, as you know, if you've watched more than one of my videos, I always use a needle threader because my level of coordination with thread, especially when there's a bunch of it, is not high. It just isn't. And especially when they separate out like these did. So anyway, I always throw my needle threader through my giant needle, and then I pull it through, and it just makes my life easier. Makes it less stressful to do the sewing that's supposed to be less stressful. Anyhow, but on my sewing machine, it has the tiniest eye on earth, and I did not know it had a self-threading thing. And then, I don't know, I saw it somewhere, and I'm like, what is that? What is it that you're doing? It threads, like you can pull the thread across and then and flip up on this switch and it goes. So anyway, now I will freely admit that I unsuccessfully tried to use my self-threading feature for some time. Just because, did I read the instructions? I will admit, no, I did not. Because it worked the first time. It worked to just do it, and then it was fine. But then after that, I couldn't make it work again. But today, 3 times I got it to thread itself. And it was like the heavens opened, and it was fabulous. Because I just, you know, I don't know. Things that make other things that you enjoy doing easier. Always a win. All right, I'm going to finish that off. I went through, and then again, I'm going to hide my little knot inside of this. And I may end up trimming down some of this later. I'm not totally sure because I've got these puffy things sticking out the top, but I don't know that that it matters as long as it stays, which I think it will. Okay, now my pocket's a little wonky because I did do that, but look, I have this little pocket. Now, I think what I'm going to do is stitch the bottom, so then I will have 2 little pockets, a back pocket and a front pocket. right? Let's do that. Okay. Now, it is a little bit puckery, but as long as it puckers out, I feel like I'm okay with it. Okay, so the question is, do I want to do more chain stitch? I don't think I actually do. I think I just want that going down each side. So I will do a little more. I will still do the yellow thread, but I'm going to do it just along the bottom. Okay, so here we are with that. So last night, and if you follow me on Instagram, Kate Stitching on Instagram as well, you may have seen my video, but I went on a dolphin cruise. And I have lived near the water almost all of my life in one place or another, but I don't know that I have ever gone on a dolphin cruise before. I have seen dolphins in the water, but this ship, it just goes around and we just looked for dolphins. And it was so fun. Oh my goodness, I loved it. And I was photographing this event, and so, of course, I had my camera. Well, we go out, and immediately there were all these dolphins, and they were playing with us. They seemed as excited to see us as we were to see them. It was so awesome. And they're jumping around, and in fact, I might even put some in so you can see the adorable dolphins. They were having the time of their lives, and oh my goodness, I loved it. I loved seeing them. I loved photographing and videoing them. And yeah, we just had a spectacular time. And then as we were going back to the dock, the dolphins were swimming with us. And they were on the front of the ship on either side, and they were just playing. And then more dolphins would come in, and they were having, like, they were racing with us. It was so fun. Oh, it was amazing. Anyway, I felt very, very thankful to be able to see these incredible dolphins. It was so cool. So that was my last night. And then I got to go out to dinner with my friend. My dear friend moved away, but she's visiting this week. And so I invited her to come on the dolphin cruise because, you know, I knew she didn't have too much going on. And it was kind of a last minute. We had to change the date because of the weather, because tonight, which is when we were going to do it, we're going to have terrible windstorms and I don't know, we'll see, possibly a tornado. Hopefully not. But anyway, weather will not be nice for dolphin cruising. So we moved it to last night, and I was so glad she could join because she's usually not here. So we had fun, and then we went out and got caught up, which there's nothing like catching up with a good friend that you haven't seen in a little while. All right, so I've got this back pocket. Now, here's the question. How do you make it apparent, right, that there is a second pocket? Well, there's a couple of ways I could do this. But one thought I had was, oh, she's jumping in. I could make a little cut in the top pocket. And then I could just fold it back. Why did I make a cut? Because I just kind of wanted to angle it so you can still see inside the other pocket. And then I think I will do a little bit of stitching along there. And I think, again, I'm just going to do some basic kind of running stitch. We'll maintain. Why do I have literally 4 pairs of scissors here? 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of scissors here. I'm telling you, some days are like that. I have a profound ability to tune it out, which is great for my ability to make lots of things and not great for my ability to keep things organized. But, oh well, you know, we each have gifts. And I'm okay with mine being the creative ones. And I can organize some things, but just not, I just stop seeing it when it comes to this. So I can have 4 pairs of scissors and not really even think about it until I reach for them and realize that I have options. Oh my. Okay, so I'm just going to fold this under and make a little V. And then You know, if it were in a paper journal, I think you could do like, don't you guys do like a tab or something, or a, you know, a little cutout to kind of show, oh, there's a little hidden thing here. So that's kind of what I'm doing by notching this with a little decoration. And mostly it'll just look cute. But it'll also make the person aware, oh, hey, there's a pocket here, and then there's a front pocket, just in case that was not apparent. My goodness, I've been talking a mile a minute. But it's just because I get really excited telling you guys things about our stitching world. So I had another meeting today, and this one was really fun because this lady owns just honestly, a space in a local strip mall that has a place for kids to come and have birthday parties, or she has like a sensory station and a craft station, or really more than a station, like bookshelves of stuff. And then she has sofas and places to lounge. And her vision is to be a place where, you know, moms could hang out while their kids are playing, or she also does, as I said, birthday parties. And she also has thought about like caregivers, you know, whether it's babysitters or whoever could come and bring the kids, and the kids can do their things, and the caregivers can hang out too, while the kids are doing fun, creative things. And I love that. When my kids were little, there were, and there are still, some indoor playgrounds where you could like bring your kids and even drop them off, and they could do these fun things. And you know, I think that can be really good for kids, just to get out and do something different, especially like when they're little or on vacations or whatever. Anyway, so I went to her place of business, and I was very excited with what she's doing. I think it's it'll be a benefit to the community, and it'll be something that I think will be popular. And what she provides for a birthday party and everything, so fun. So just creative, you know. All right, so this one has 2 pockets. How fun is that? The question is whether, I love this little fabric, and I don't want to cover it up too much. But for now, I'm going to leave this. As I said, I might put a ribbon there or something. I mean, I could use lace, but I just don't know that it goes. I feel like something brighter will be better there. So I'll leave that. I love this page with its pocket with a little lace there, and then final pocket. This is just kind of floppy, and I may leave it that way. I don't know. Thinking about it. She's almost finished. I may add a little, we'll see. I may add a little piece of fabric just so it evens it out. But isn't she so fun? All right. So fabric journal is in process. I wanted to show you a couple of other things. All right. So I've been finding frames at yard sales and such. Isn't this fun? I just stitched on this pink fabric a little flower, and I did a little lace, and then I printed up a tag, and I'll just show you. So I printed a bunch of tags. I took a piece of fabric, one of my kind of blank linens, and I think I've shown you this before, but I have these full page labels that are, it's basically like a full sheet address label. You can do this with freezer paper. I guess you can do it with other things. But anyway, I do it this way because, you know, I essentially take this, and then I take a piece of fabric that's plain like this. I lay it over, I cut it out. Now you need to make sure that nothing sticks out the sides, or it could, you know, get stuck. And I am not saying do this. It could wreck your printer, but I have one of those where you just feed it down and it comes straight through. It's very simple, and it works fine with that. So anyhow, I put a whole sheet of those and I made a bunch of little fabric tags. Happy day. I put live joyfully, and I put that in this journal. A few others. So one of the ones I made said bloom, and I put that on this. Very simple. I did some chain stitching, some lazy daisy stitches, some straight stitches, and some French knots. And then a little more of this lace that should look familiar from the other pocket in that. I've been using that. I just like it, and that's there. It's very simple. I'm making these because I think, you know, some people might like just a little decorative piece in embroidery. And I mean, I think it's cute. It would make a great little gift. So I made that one. And then, because I think also sometimes, you know, something a little bit just kind of fun. But first, coffee. Do you like? So this is just some fabric. I've got a gingham, and then this, they reminded me of coffee beans. It's actually just a pattern. And then I made a little coffee cup. And then this is half of a little doily like this. Which was part of a set of like 12 of them that made some kind of placemat. So I took those off, and then I thought it looked like a tablecloth, kind of. And so I thought, well, that's fun. And then again, did some tags, and I divided them up because I just liked how they looked divided. So, but first, coffee. And on this, I decided to go with some contrasting stitching that went with the background. I just love how it turned out. It's fun. I thought at first about doing some stitching of some steam coming off of the coffee, but I don't think I'm going to do that. And also, I might go in with a colored pencil and give it a little shading. I don't know. But I kind of like it how it is, so we'll see. Anyway, isn't that fun? You know, making little collages of things, it's like a sketch again. You know, these are like sketching and doodling with thread. And you create something that's just cute and that people might enjoy. I enjoy it, so there we are. So these are my current projects. I'm going to probably come in here and do some more thread painting this evening. That will be fun. But I just wanted you to see where we are and what I've been working on. So I hope you are well. I hope you are having fun stitching. And I will be back again with another project soon. Happy stitching. Bye-bye.